How far do you think we are? It wants to protect itself from people or from other AI. How far away are we from something that's really, truly sentient?
The on-ramp to serious AI, the danger is going to be more humans using it against each other, I think, most likely. That'll be the danger.
There is no fact checker for chatbots. Let me repeat that again. There is no fact checker for chatbots. That is the whole ball of wax. That's the reason why they're so dangerous.
Here's the question. If quantum computing gets involved in AI, what are we looking at?
Well, first of all, AI is a software program. We're talking about homogenizing different kinds of essays on the web, splicing them together, and then passing it off as your latest creation. Basically, plagiarism using digital computers. It's a software question. However, quantum computers is bigger than that. Quantum computers is a hardware question, where it actually increases your ability to do much more than with an ordinary digital computer. So the two of them, the chatbots that are a revolution in software, and then quantum computers, which are a revolution in hardware, when they get together, watch out. So we're talking about an extremely powerful alliance between software and hardware. Now, also, as you know, chatbots will also lie, cheat, swindle, joke, and do all sorts of crazy things.
Yes.
If you're a high school kid, you could write all sorts of science fiction scenarios, and some chatbot may grab pieces of that nonsense and incorporate it into their essay.
Oh, interesting. So it can't discern what's accurate.
Exactly. The whole point. This is the whole ball of wax.
How far do you think we are from something that can make its own mind up, whether or not something's ethically or morally correct, or whether or not it wants to do something, or whether or not it wants to improve itself, or whether or not it wants to protect itself from people or from other AI? How far away are we from something that's really, truly sentient?
Well, I mean, you could argue that any group of people, like a company is essentially a cybernetic collective of people and machines. That's what a company is. And then there's different levels of complexity in the way these companies are formed. And then there's this like a collective AI in the Google search, where we're all sort of plugged in as like nodes on the network, like leaves on a big tree, and we're all feeding this network without questions and answers. We're all collectively programming the AI, and Google plus all the humans that connect to it are one giant cybernetic collective. This is also true of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these social networks. They're giant cybernetic collectives.
What's interesting is what you're talking about with quantum computing and the insane computational power.
Right.
And then apply that to having access to all of the information.
Right, but there's a good aspect too. You know, when I write a book, my publisher has a fact checker that goes through all the different statements that I make to make sure that they're all correct. There is no fact checker for chatbots. Let me repeat that again. There is no fact checker for chatbots. That is the whole ball of wax. That's the reason why they're so dangerous. Because they don't know. These chatbots are machines. They don't know what is correct, what is incorrect. It's all the same to them. That's the danger, that they could incorporate teenagers ranting and raving about all sorts of garbage and put that in with articles that sound reasonable. Quantum computers can act as a fact checker. You can ask a quantum computer to remove all the garbage, remove all the nonsense in these articles, and it'll do that. So, in other words, the hardware may be a check on some of the wild statements made by software.
What is quantum computing? Now, I keep hearing about this. It's one of the big breakthroughs in computers is going to be quantum computing.
Right. And one way of thinking about what quantum mechanics says is in classical mechanics, which is what came before quantum mechanics, let's imagine you have a bit, right? That is something is either 0 or 1, right? One piece of information. In quantum mechanics, you have a quantum bit, a qubit, as they call it. Very clever. So the difference is that instead of it being a 0 or a 1, like it would be classically, quantum mechanically, it is in some superposition of 0 and 1. It's some combination of a little bit 0, a little bit 1. And it's not that you don't know which one it is, it's that it really is both. It might be 90% 0 and 10% 1 or something like that. So take that fact, number one, okay? Fact number two is that quantum mechanics has a thing called entanglement, which means that if you have two bits, so quantum mechanics says it's not that this one bit is in a combination of 0 and 1, and this other bit is also in a combination of 0 and 1. It's that the two-bit system is in a combination of 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, right? So it might be that it's 50% 0, 0 and 50% 1, 1. So you don't know what either bit is, but you know they're the same, right?
Okay.
So that's entanglement.
You used to have more hope, and you gave up some of it, and now you don't worry as much about AI. You're like, this is just what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, yes.
What-
Yes, but no, it's not necessarily bad. It's definitely going to be outside of human control.
Not necessarily bad, right?
Yeah, it's not necessarily bad. It's just outside of human control. Now, the thing that's going to be tricky here is that it's going to be very tempting to use AI as a weapon. It's going to be very tempting. In fact, it will be used as a weapon. So the on-ramp to serious AI, the danger is going to be more humans using it against each other, I think, most likely. That'll be the danger.
Chatbots do not know what is correct or incorrect.
They just gather information so they could be gamed.
That's right. All they do is homogenize, cut up existing things that sound human, put it together, and then people say, my God, that sounds like a human wrote it. Of course, a human did write it.
Isn't that interesting that they could game that also if they wanted to find out what percentage of people believed a certain thing? If they had some bad actors, some foreign governments that decided they were going to spread narratives as widely as possible, and ChatGPT just gathers up all this information, it could give you an incorrect understanding of what's happening in the world. It
That's
can give you
right.
an incorrect understanding of politics, of
The
economics.
whole point is that even though there's a good aspect to all these software programs, the downside is that you can fabricate truth because it cannot tell the difference between false and what is false and what is true.
That's very
If
interesting.
you talk to the chatbot and say, do you know the difference between correct and incorrect? And they say, no, it's just on the web. They're just instructed to cobble together existing paragraphs, splice them together and polish it up, and then spit it out. But is it correct? It doesn't care. It doesn't know.